Thiruvedagam. This is the Shiva isthala, which is situated on the northern bank of river Vaigai, within the reach of not more than 17 km from Madurai. This isthala has been featured for the historic incident that had taken place at the time of one of the prime disciples of Lord Shiva, Gnana Sambanthar, who had done a miracle of docking the Suvadi, that is, palm leaves on which hymn had been written on those days, on the bank of river Vaigai, at exactly where now this temple has been residing. This temple has the pride of having worshipped by Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma and Savanar. Again, the rishis like Parasar, Vyasar, and the king Kosa also worshipped here. Athisisan, the transcendental bed of Lord Vishnu, also worshipped here. On those days, there had been group conflict in between the religion of various divisions in Hinduism. This story, here we are going to see, had been the group conflict in between Saivam and Jainism. At 7th century, particularly in Madurai, Jainism had been dominating over Saivam, since the Pandyan king Arikesari Nedumaran, alias Koon was the follower of Jainism. In order to change his mind towards Saivam, both his wife Mangayarkarasi and the minister kulasirayar had invited the child devotee, Gnana Sambanthar, to Madurai. The presiding deity, Lord Thiruvedagam Swami. Gnana Sambanthar reached Madurai by the humble request of the Queen, Mangayarkarasi. As the Jain monks had already been defeated twice, and they wanted one more chance to prove themselves. This time they had selected the method of punalwatam, which meant both of them should let down the Suvadi of their religious work into the flood of river Vaigai, and the Suvadi should rush against the stream of the flood, if it had been considered as the best. This has been the final and the right judgment, the Jain monks assured. Gnana Sambanthar also agreed with that test. But the minister Kulasirayar intervened them, and said, "Okay, let it be, but what shall be done to the people who have been defeated?" This annoyed the monks, for the minister was the sole responsibility for their current status. But the monks who had been trapped, no other way to escape from the game, replied the minister that, suppose if they had lost their final chance of proving themselves, they could have been sentenced to death by Kalu, a special type of killing machine, made up of strong wood, having the point sharp edge at the top, with the bottom augmented gradually. The person who had been sentenced to death was made to sit on the point sharp edge, and due to the gravitational force, the body slowly would come down, and as a result, the body would have been pierced into two pieces, and finally would touch the death. After having arrived to a conclusion, all of them reached the river Vaigai. The king asked both of them, Gnana Sambanthar and the Jain monks, to take their Suvadis out and be got ready for the final test. Then he let it be slipped into the river water. What a surprise, that Suvadi pierced the river water and swam fast against the stream. In that song, he also wrote a stanza that Vinthanam Vanghaga, by that, the hump on the back of the king had also been vanished to normal. Previously, he had also been called as Koon Pandyan, as there was a hump on his back. That Suvadi had been piercing the water and swam against the stream of river Vaigai, as non-stopped. The minister Kulasirayar also followed that Suvadi by having ridden on his horseback. In order to stop the Suvadi swimming against the stream of the river, Gnana Sambanthar sang a hymn, as started, Vani Mathaman. Then the Suvadi stopped its voyage and reached the bank, where the temple at the Thiruvedagam. The minister Kulasirayar got down from the horse and picked up the Suvadi, then returned to Madurai. Since the Jain monks had been defeated thrice, as to keep up their word, they themselves lost their lives by having sat down on the kalu tree. The king, the queen and the minister, all the three fell down on the ground and paid respect to Gnana Sambanthar. The king wore Thirunir all over his body and forehead, which is the symbol, or the mark of Saivam. Again, the Pandyan kingdom followed the religion Saivam as their authentic religion. Very near to this Thiruvedagam temple, there lies the Jiva Samadhi of Sitha Satinathar, who has been the disciple of the great Sitha Bogar, as well, one among the 18 prime Sithas of Tamil Nadu. Satinathar was one of the 18 prime Sithas, whose parents have been told as the migrants from Sri Lanka to Tamil Nadu. His real name was Paramanathan. In his married life, he didn't involve fully. Instead, he was in search of something beyond the materialistic life. As per the advice got from one sage, he relieved from the married life, and searched the real guru for salvation. Sithar Satinathar had been wandering throughout the forest and hillside, in search for a real guru. Fortunately he met his real guru Bogar, and became his sincere disciple. He learned everything from his guru Bogar, and he also became a well-flourished Sithar. Due to his contact, he had the opportunity of meeting the other disciples of Bogar, Kunhanar, and Kulasirayar. They also told him about the Sitha secrets about various fields like medicine, alchemy, yoga and astrology, etc. After that, he had the very fine opportunity of being turned into the disciple of the Chitain Sitha Agathiyar, by which he had the ultimate goal of meeting the Almighty, the Lord Shiva, at Mount Kailash, which is said to be the abode of Lord Shiva. There he attained his perfection of Siddhi. In Kailash, where the temperature is in below 0 degree, in order to overcome the terrible cold, he had to wear the woolen wear, which in Tamil language called as Kumbali Satai, always. Hence he had been called as Kumbali Satinathar, and later, in short form, been called as Satinathar. This name has been registered as the permanent one in the history.